70s, an over-the-top stage production called the Rocky Horror Show made a journey from London hit to Broadway flop to feature film, where it quickly bombed. Then it was suggested that the movie about a singing, dancing, transvestite alien might attract the late-night urban crowd, and the experiment was tried out at the Waverly Theater in the heart of New York's Greenwich Village. And a new millennium, Rocky Horror recently returned to Broadway.
How do you do?
Looking at the decade that spawned the Rocky Horror phenomenon, it's clear that gay and sexual liberation was the fuel igniting those midnight crowds.
When it came out, it didn't really come out because no one knew what to do with it, so they kind of buried it at Fox, and someone started sneaking it to art houses and campuses, and gay community found it.
The movie came out at the peak of an era of gay sexual liberation. It was an exciting time to be gay, and also experimentations in gender were sort of prevalent in the media.
Rocky Horror came into my life in late 1976. And I became part of that original group of people that started the now famous audience participation. I've seen it for sure over 2,000 times.
Sal Piro was really the driving force. He was so into it. And he would go on stage before the screening and announce to everybody what you have to do. He would ask if there are any virgins in the audience, you know, people who'd never seen Rocky Horror before, and he would tell you what this is all about.
Participation started gradually. It happened without us realizing it was going on. In the beginning, everybody would just sing along with the songs. And then there was a kindergarten teacher who sat in the front row of the balcony, and he was the first person to shout at the screen. And when Janet put the newspaper on top of her head in the rain, he yelled out, "Buy an umbrella, you cheap bitch." And everybody laughed. And then it became like a race, like, oh, that was really clever. What could we say next time? And then we found out that it was happening in other theaters, because somebody would come to the Waverly and take it to another theater, and then they'd start doing it. And Rocky just took off. It was a phenomenon.
Once you saw the movie with the cult audience, which was basically disenfranchised, people living on the edge, a lot of gay kids who were just coming out for the first time, it really was an inspiring experience, because obviously they drew a lot from the message of the movie, which was, don't dream it, be it.
It was a very big gay audience going to see Rocky. The group of friends that I went with, we were all gay, and we all went to see Rocky Horror because it was like the thing to do. Once word got out that all of this audience participation was happening, and it was achieving this kind of strange cult status, it attracted more people, so the straight audiences came. And because it was the West Village, it was a really good mix going on.
Everybody just wanted to get into those high heels and fishnets, and he was sexy. And he was like a good fairy of libido. He just kind of awakened the sexual spirit inside everybody.
Just a sweet transvestite girl.
There was a feeling in the theater that of absolute freedom. People were like, you know, I'm going to get up and do my thing. You would actually think that people kind of outed themselves within the theater, you know, the gay people, and the straight people were loving it. And this was only the mid-70s.
Fast forward 25 years, and the Rocky Horror Picture Show has claimed its own unrivaled place in film history, with 20th Century Fox staking that claim in a new anniversary DVD. And with a second New York stage try, producers are betting that in the new millennium, Broadway is finally ready for the gender-bending, sexually charged Rocky Horror. Directed by Christopher Ashley with choreography by Jerry Mitchell, the new troupe of aliens and unsuspecting humans are headed by Alice Ripley, Jared Emick, Raul Esparza, Sebastian Lacause, Daphne Rubin Vega, rock star Joan Jett, Lea DeLaria, and Tom Hewitt as Dr. Frank N. Furter.
I'm not much of a man by the light of day, but by night I'm one hell of a lover.
Also on board to help Broadway regulars navigate the wild plot is Dick Cavett as the narrator.
This is the Rocky Horror Show. We were 2 weeks into rehearsal before anybody broke the news to me that I was not the one who got to wear ladies' panties and garters. I'm stuck with the narrator's role.
The Broadway production today really doesn't disappoint the diehard fans.
I love you.
They stay faithful enough so that you're satisfied by what they're doing, and yet they reinvent it enough so that it's not just the same old thing.
Damn it.
We've updated it in a lot of ways and made it way more turn of the century, new millennium stuff. Yeah. Just casting me as Eddie, I mean, is one example.
Lea DeLaria is playing the meatloaf role, and she's also playing Dr. Scott, so she's playing two male roles.
It just sort of latches onto the absurdity of sex and sexuality and explores that in a very funny way.
You liked it, didn't you?
25-year-old producer Jordan Roth was born just about the time kids first began lining up for Rocky Horror.
Rocky seems to have been a really seminal experience for just about everybody. These messages of don't dream it, be it, invent yourself, celebrate yourself, be the sort of star of your life. Those messages were really important.
I'll see you shiver with tissy.
Whatever that movie says, especially to lonely kids, you know, has turned out to be something that I'm quite proud of. Don't dream it, be it is a great message, and at a time when kids are having some sexual ambiguity and all the kids that are left out or don't know what they're doing or a little bit too odd, they can put on this outrageous garb and go somewhere where they're accepted for who they want to be.
That's why the movie celebrated among teenagers. Because it's at that point in people's lives when they need their identities validated and welcomed.
That message spoke to a whole generation, and it continues to speak to new generations.
We've still got a lot of work to do around the way people view us, you know, in queerdom. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, bibbidi-bobbidi-boo, you know. We still have a lot of work to do about that, but we have come quite a way. Case in point, Rocky Horror on Broadway.